Hello YouTube, I'm here at the messy bench, the messy gunsmithing bench in the artisan shop. And I need to clean this mess up. One of the projects I started and didn't finish was this Cricket precision rifle. I had took it apart to make a wood stock for it, just to see if I could. Because one of the things I might do this year is, for the Cricket fundraiser, is actually use this rifle to try to garner more attention. And I think also this year we are going to donate the money to the Green Beret Foundation. I like to spread the love around a little bit. Justin's Final Mission was great, but it has a lot of, you know, for some reason, I mean, not for some reason, it's a great organization, but there's a lot of YouTubers that support it. So I was trying to look and see what other organizations were out there, and I've always been fond of the Green Beret Foundation, but really didn't mean to get off on that. What I'm going to do today is change the sights, take off this big arse dot sight. I don't know if you saw my last video, but the rear sight fell off at the range, and I don't know, I just don't like that. Honestly, I don't like the big dots. So I'm going to take it off, and I still have the original packaging and all the little tools and stuff, and what I should have probably used to keep it from coming off. But I'm going to put it back in here, and we'll figure out how to give these away, maybe as part of the Cricket fundraiser. So one of the things I thought I might try is this phosphorus paint to, I don't know, because I like playing with paint, I guess. I bought this stuff. I don't know how good it's going to work. Maybe some of you can tell me in the comments. This says Ultra Blue Glow. This says Ultra Green. And then this the Pure Blue. So what does a Glock have on it? White. So I don't know. But first of all, let me make sure we're empty here. Shoot holes in my table. So I guess really this is probably a bad idea, but I've never been known really for good ideas that much. So maybe what I'm going to do is just, let me see if I can pick a color, and maybe I'll paint these. Anyway, I cleaned them with some breakthrough cleaner, and so I'm hoping this is going to stick. Ooh. It smells like, I guess it smells like paint. So this is maybe a little silly, but I'm going to take a paper clip, one of the ones that has the vinyl coating, and what I'm going to, I think the front post is going to be easy, he said. I'm going to dab it on there. I know this is a bad idea. I'm just admitting this right up front. I know this is a bad idea, okay? I'm going to try to stir this up. So I'm going to get a lot of that off of there, and I'm literally going to just try to dab it. Can you see? I don't think that's going to work. I just don't think that's going to stay on there. It's like a little teardrop shape. It's protruding. So I think just for the fun of it, I'm going to leave it like that. Should I leave this part alone, or should I just paint the whole back? I don't know. I don't know if I want to paint the back one. Maybe I should just use some restraint, huh? This stuff is probably garbage, even though it's very expensive. I think this was like 11 bucks just for this little part right here. What I might do is actually take and paint a larger area of something with it. Reckon this will work. If I paint, what is that, one of my bullet molds? Oh, that's a round ball. I think that's a 20 gauge round ball mold. I can tell you right now, I don't trust this stuff because it doesn't act like paint. It's more like a paste that you put on. I don't know, it's just weird. It's not acting like paint at all. It may be that it's just because I don't have any experience with it. But I'm gonna let that dry, and then maybe we'll turn the lights off and see if it does anything. So I can tell you that look at all this mess on here. Take the barrel out. The last time I had trouble getting the little screw out in there because it was almost basically zero clearance. You can see there. But I got lucky because my wheeler set came with the Glock sight tool, the front post right there, the wheeler set. If you don't have the 89 piece wheeler dealer set, you're missing out. So let me get the short one. I need the big one for this project. But the problem I was having was getting it in there. The one that came with, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But see, the wheeler one, the wheeler wrench just takes it right out. Now that's the easy part, guys. So getting that back in is the hard part. The advantage to the tool that comes with the big dot sights, I just dumped all that in there, didn't I? The advantage of this one over the wheeler is that it's not as deep. So they actually make a good pair, because when you go to put it back together, the little screw, the little front sight post screw, and this is why you need both of these. I'll show you. See how it's not as deep? So that when you set it in there, the screw it'll stick out like that. This one is too deep. See how deep that is? The end of the screw, the threaded part of the screw, will not stick out on the wheeler. But this is great for taking it off. So what I'm going to try to attempt to do now is get this on here without touching the paint, which I don't think I can do. I haven't touched it yet. Did I touch it? Nope. And now the trick is to get that started. See, I got it started. Now you can run this down 3 or 4 turns. You can run this down with the one that came with the big dots. And the original screw for the Glock sight is longer than the one that comes with the big dot. And I still do not have any paint on my fingers, so I'm doing good. Watch me, I probably just touched it. So then you can take your Wheeler one and finish it, because there's no clearance. There's not enough clearance between the screw and the frame to get this one in there. And you can see that in the video where I put the big dots on. But, so now, you can see I still have that phosphorus paint on there. Let's see if it's still teardropped. Makes you mad when you've been talking for 5 minutes, and of course you probably appreciate it because you didn't have to listen to me. But I forgot to turn the camera on. What I was saying was that, let's see if I can get this back open. Really? I had this open 20 times, it's still hard to get back. The thing I don't like about these sights, and I'm going to show you, if I can get my hands in there, is this. Okay. The rear sight has too much play in it. Okay, I'm trying to get the angle so you can see. Okay. See, that just, if you don't tighten it down at all, if you don't use the thread lock, and I don't like using thread lock on sights because I like being able to take them on and off and adjust them and all that. And I know what you're going to say. Well, that's what it's for. Yeah, but in this wrench, it's so small that you can't even see the sides on it. You know that it's an Allen wrench, and it'll only take so much torque. It's such a tiny thing, so you can only put so much pressure. And I just don't like the idea of, making something with that much tolerance that it's going to fall off if you don't thread lock it. I've had this Glock for 6 years and never even had to adjust the sights on it. So that tells you that the rear sight on the Glock 19 is just fine, and I'll probably even have a hard time getting it back in. I'll have to pound it with my hammer. I was hoping to at least get it started. Yeah, there we go. Just that. Now that's what you should have to do. You should have to pound on it to get it in there. I don't want to drive it too far, but I'm going to have to go a little farther to get back here a little bit. Still not centered. Oops, that's weird. It's almost like it found its home. It's almost like it found its original home. It like went and stopped. Yeah, that's funny. The problem with the big dot was that it was just too freaking big. I mean, it was covering up like a 3-inch circle at 25 feet or so. And I like being able to see my bullet strike the target. So really what I want is a low profile sight. I'm used to these sights already, so it shouldn't take much practice to get back into the game with them. But the front sight was getting a little dim, so I thought I would, get big dots that are good at glowing in the dark, but I'm hoping this phosphorus paint will make these work better. We're going to turn the lights off in a second and see. Probably should clean this thing while I've got it apart, but don't really have the time right now. Alrighty. There you go. So there they are, back in their package, just the way they came, tools and all. And I'll be, tools and all, where'd the tool go? Oh. Okay, well I'll put the wrench back in there. But I'll be giving this away in probably part of the either the US Conops giveaway or the Cricket giveaway. Okay, so let's see. Now I wish I hadn't put that window in my shop. Let's see. This paint is not quite dry yet. Let's see if I can get it in the dark though. That's funny. If I can get it in a darker place here. Huh. It's not even dry yet. So, turn the light on. So you can just barely see it. Pretty cool. Grab the Glock. Where'd it go? Oh yeah. Huh. Not bad. Not bad at all. You can see how much brighter the phosphorus paint is than the rear Glock sight. So I'm happy. Smaller front post and a brighter front post. Nice. Nice.